What's up, guys? Anthony Rodriguez here, producer and mixer of the God Soundtrack Suite Vol.1. If you stuck with me from the first track all the way to now, thank you so much for watching all these videos. And now we are here talking about the 10th track of the God Soundtrack Suite Vol.1, The Covenant. The Covenant is the promise God made to Abraham, and you can find a lot of those details in the book of Genesis. One of them being chapter 15. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision, saying, "Do not fear, Abraham. I am a shield to you. Your reward shall be very great." And Abraham said, "O Lord God, what wilt thou give me, since I am childless, and the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus," and so on and so forth. But God has promised him nations, and you can read more about it in the book of Genesis. And so we have a soundtrack here that, to my knowledge, is a good representation of the covenant. Everything has to be a story. So I'm going to be hearing this for the very first time since the composition was made. This was months ago, and so don't know what I'm going to hear. I mean, I know how the soundtrack sounds, but I haven't opened up this session. And with that being said, playback on the Dolby Atmos Renderer is set to 2.0 direct. So by the time it gets to YouTube, I don't know the encoding process what YouTube is, but you can still hear the Atmos mix in stereo format. You're not gonna really experience if there's any movement or the spatial space of it the way I hear it here directly with my renderer. So with that being said, I can send you guys a binaural re-render for your convenience so that you can listen to it with your headphones. But also, this is a full album that's been out already on Apple Music, Tidal, and Amazon Music on Dolby Atmos, so you can activate your spatial audio in Dolby Atmos and enjoy the full Atmos experience with your devices directly with the DSPs that I mentioned. So let's check this out. Okay, there's something moving here. Let's see what that is. That is the pads. So this represents God's communication with Abraham, and it's a peaceful situation there. I placed it from the source, from the track itself. I have it moving from the source track right there. It's not sent to anything actually. So there's no reverb or nothing. So it's just moving from its source. I can show you. If I get the renderer, it's just that. It's just that movement. And we'll put everything else. We have an effect. This is obviously a stem. It is sent to places. I can play it again. Yes, it's scattered everywhere in the 3D sound space or sound field. We have some effects pretty much surrounding us. And the source track is set as an object, and then the paths that we were just listening to before is also as is set as an object. So at this point, if you've been with me throughout this whole series, you know what the difference is between a bed and an object. So we're gonna try to not repeat that again. And so yeah, so those two tracks are objects. Moving to the next part, we have so what I was thinking here was a steady walk with God. The promises that God is making to Abraham. So try to give it a nice oh yeah, that nice lift. Let's look at the renderer. Okay, with that being said, let's review these individual tracks on this section. Okay, as I know myself, low percussion is set as in the bed. With nothing sent to any objects. However, it is placed in the bed. Should be no, there's nothing. Okay. Alright, so I see that it shows left and right. So I anchored it to the front, left and right. That was a decision that was made, I guess. So I will respect my mixing decisions. That's fine. So I have the percussion, that particular percussion, set on the left and right and the front. Nothing on the mids, surround sides, or in the back, or nothing like that. It's just there. You can see the sense. There's nothing here. So that was the idea with that. Anchor it in the front, leave it in the front, don't mess with it. Strings, they're also on the bed, but they are sent. Look at the renderer real quick. Right, okay. So they are on the top, back, and top, front in the bed, and also left, right sides in the bed. So just to clarify that, I do have it in different positions, but in the bed. Also on the speakers that you will see above. So that's why in the renderer you only see it. Let me see, I gotta play it here. You only see it left and right elevated. That's because it was sent to what I have here. You see this brown track. These are objects, but it's left and right but elevated up. So not only is the strings coming out on the left and right speaker, it's also coming out on the objects which are set above that, just to bring up some elevation. Very simple things there. But in those settings, I have some effects, a little bit of delay, and special settings on reverbs. So, I have it definitely. I have mid verbs, meaning I have verbs coming out of here on the sides. You can see this green fader right here. So my whole objective is little sprinkles of effects on the bed, but the reverb, my main reverb, is set on the mid. So the whole goal is just to kind of add color to the mix, because obviously there's a lot more going on. So my whole thing is I want to place dedicated things on the space. So the next thing is the woodwinds. Woodwinds are keeping it simple. woodwinds, I think I have them as objects, and they are definitely in objects quad above. So they're coming out of the top front, top back in object form. Also in the center channel as well. And you can see that here in the renderer. Tops, left, mid, right. Also, I have the reverb, Atmos verb, and also Atmos delay, complementary in the performance of the woodwinds. You can see it there. So it's complementary in the woodwinds. So we have that. So then when we go to the next section, now we get a little bit more aggressive. So the goal on this part is, God is firm with his promise, right? This is not just a walk in the park, but with promises, come responsibilities, comes consequences, comes things that, Abraham is just one man. He's eventually going to die, and then his sons are going to be, whoever comes after that is going to be, dealing with the covenant and whatever. I don't want to continue the story after this, but this track is just the covenant. So I have the choir in the bed, but also you can see here, you can see my placements here. They're in the bed left and right, quad in objects form. I also have them in objects left and right. On the low side. Don't know what that means, but I'll take it. Low, oh, okay. I mean, it's probably, okay, that low LCR probably means this, just ear level. I have left and right sides in the bed. And I also added front verb, mid verb, and back verb. So there's no Atmos verb or Atmos delay with the choir. You look at the renderer, you see these objects, but the bed is also playing an important role with distributing some different level reverbs, front, mid, and back. Anything new in this section? We have one of my favorite things, brass. So brass is set in the bed, and we can see they're anchored to the front as well. They are in the bed, left and right sides, back, left, right, which surrounds in the back, top, front, top, back, and front verb just to push it forward, like with some early reflection stuff. So the front verb kind of pushes it forward. So the front verb is set in a way, is this like, you can see I'm using cinematic rooms with the second reverb time. The size of it is kind of there at 2.0. And what else? Pre-delay at 35 and whatnot. And some of the things here. Let me see what else I have here. Yeah. So it's set using the early reflection to give it like that front push. What else do we have here? We have high percussion doing I don't know what. Oh yeah, timpani and bell. So these are also in the bed. The cool thing about this one, I have it at close to the left and right ear, and coming out of the objects in the back top, you can see the so they're designed to be there. And then we have this, which is low brass. So I guess we have high brass and low brass here. LFE, so you can see the LFE channel. That's it. They're anchored to the front and LFE. That's what we have. And this is new here. Organ. Oh shoot, the organ. I have organ here. This is definitely up. From the source, it's an object, front, top. So there you go. With what is this here? This is okay, rear top, right top, rear, right top, rear. Top, back in the bed. Yeah, so we not only is it fundamentally on the top front in the bed, it's in the back. I made that decision, don't know why. And it seems like I never used this because it's totally on low volume here. So I guess I probably forgot to put it up. I guess those things happen. So look at everything together. We have that design. Let's not forget that a lot of the placements are also in the bed. So not only in objects, but also in bed placements. This is pretty interesting. You see this right here? This is a mixed decision. Because there was so many things going on. Originally I had the choir singing here as well, but being that there's so many things happening in this section, instead of just deleting that section, I just lowered the volume so it printed that way as well. So you can hear really low because it's not important for me, that part. I could have deleted it, but I just wanted to just lower it. So at the end, we have strings. With the cello. Just left, right, and the objects. I think it's elevated up. Yeah. So it's left and right and objects elevated up. In the source, it's in the bed, left and right. So left and right in the bed and elevated as objects. with mid reverb coming out of the side, with a little bit of Atmos verb that's giving me a different tone. You can see the Atmos verb working in. This is more interesting than looking at the renderer. Renderer looks mighty lonely, but there's a lot going on in the bed. So, one of the things I didn't get to show throughout the whole series is the plugins that I'm using, because it's not about the plugins that I'm using, because I was just showing you the, behind the scenes of the mix and the Atmos render and all that stuff. It's because it's new to many people. But for example, for the Atmos verb, I'm using the black hole immersive from Eventide, and I'm using a very cool preset from my friend Alex Lozano, and he has a nice setting here for blissful surroundings, and I used his preset. It's a beautiful thing. And what the cool thing about this plugin is that I can adjust anything. So if I want more of the verbs on any specific speaker, I can use it. I can either lower it or raise it up, but I left it the way Alex did the preset because it worked out beautifully for me. In regards to the delay, Eventide also has a micro pitch immersive plugin, and I was using the Foggy, Tabs, and Lush Tape. I don't know where in the presets that's at, but I used it. And you could also adjust the amount of delay you want in any section of your bed. So I kept it the way it is because it worked out perfectly fine. A lot of these presets that these engineers and artists do, they, you kind of know the material that they work on, and their style of working. So having these certain presets really help me see it as I have, for example, Alex. I have Alex with me here, so he's working with me, even though he's not. But yeah, and then some other effects. For example, the mid verb that I have here, it's settings to rooms. I have used the rooms 1 and 2-second delay and early late setting, and all that good stuff. Very basic stuff. It's very basic stuff. It's nothing crazy. But just to let you guys know, for example, the front verb, I showed it to you before, but then this is the back verb. The back verb, it has more of a lush setting. I have a 3-second reverb time. I'm using a preset Dark Cathedral because it's like nice and big. So you always want to have it. You always want to have big stuff in the back, and so forth and so on. And there you go. So there's more things to review here, but I can't go through this all now. But I just wanted to show you guys that understanding reverb, understanding the different types of reverbs, the different settings, playing around with reflections and early reflections, and playing around with reverb tails and the decay and rolling off. Like you see, I have EQs under these reverbs that pretty much that I use. This is all to taste. So what happens is you're controlling the reverb, so that it can just so that it doesn't sound too bright or too bassy. So you kind of roll off high pass and low pass and whatnot. So this is The Covenant, the last track on Vol.1 Soundtrack Suite. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed all these videos that I posted from last week to this week. I've never posted so many videos in my life in such a small time frame. And so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.